Hari Om. In this video, we are going to discuss how checked and unchecked context are used to handle arithmetic overflow exception. Before we talk about checked and unchecked context, we should understand what is arithmetic overflow in arithmetic operations. This is one simple definition I can give for what is arithmetic overflow. When reaching the maximum value of a given numeric type and trying to add anything to that will overflow the capacity, which will result in a wrong value. I repeat, when reaching the maximum value of a given numeric type and when trying to add anything will overflow the capacity and that will result in a wrong value. For example, if you have two numbers 1000, 1001, if you add these two values, the sum is 10001. But your result will have a wrong value showing 0001 because this 1 will be considered as a carry. Let us look into overflow in a little bit detailed manner. I open a document here. Yeah. This is an arithmetic overflow definition. You have arithmetic overflow and you have arithmetic underflow also. Arithmetic overflow is the result of a calculation that exceeds the memory space designated to hold it. In other words, arithmetic overflow occurs when a calculation produces a result that is greater than in magnitude than that which a given register or storage location can store or represent. This is a definition for arithmetic overflow. So it says that if the result of the calculation exceeds the memory space, say for example, if the memory space designated to hold the result is 4 bits and if the result is exceeding the 4 bits, then you say it is arithmetic overflow. Whereas arithmetic underflow is the result of a calculation that is too small to be expressed properly. For example, in floating point, a negative exponent can be generated that is too large to be stored in its allotted space. So if the exponent value is too large, obviously the value is going to be a very small value, but this cannot be represented in the allotted space or in the designated space, memory space. That is what you call as arithmetic underflow. Let us see an example here. If the capacity of the register, is 4 bits, let us assume the capacity of the register is 4 bits. I am going to add two 4 bits numbers. Let me say 0100, which is representing decimal 4, 0110 that represents decimal 6. If you try to add these two numbers, it must result in 4 bits. Let me say when you add these two numbers, you are going to get 1010, which is the correct result, which is equivalent to the decimal 10. Now, suppose say for example, the value is larger. That means I am going to have larger value in these 4 bits. Number 1 is 1100, which is equivalent to 12 decimal. 1110 is equivalent to 14 decimal. When you add these two numbers, you can see this will be the result. But since I am having only 4 bits in the register, or you call it as the memory space designated to hold the result is 4 bits, you get the answer as 1010, which is going to be a wrong value. The fifth bit will be considered as a carry bit and it is not part of the result. So what happens? The result is not 26. Your actual sum should be 26, but here the result shows it is only 10. Why? Because this is what you call as overflow problem, or you call it as arithmetic overflow. So, in your C# programming, if you have this kind of result happening, you need the information to be intimated to the user or to the end user. If so, I can use the checked and unchecked context. Let us go back to the slides. Yes, so this is what we have seen. You can see here, when I try to add larger value, it must produce 1001 as the result. But since the capacity of the register is only 4 bits, it is not showing you this as the result, but it is giving you a wrong value. The result will be wrong because there is a overflow in the capacity of the register. So this is what you call as arithmetic overflow. Now, by default, the .NET runtime will not raise exceptions when doing numeric calculations. If we want to ensure that arithmetic operations to throw overflow exceptions, if an overflow happens, we need to use the checked code block, or you call it as checked context. So, if you have used the checked context, and if overflow occurs, then an exception will be raised or can be thrown, and for which we are going to use two operators called as checked and unchecked operators. We call it as checked and unchecked operators. And I think you may be recollecting when we talked about the special operators that are available in C#. We have seen a checked and unchecked operators, and we have also discussed a demo program for checked and unchecked context. Now that discussion was based on the operator. Now this discussion we are going to take it for the exception handling. We are discussing the checked and unchecked operators in the context of exception handling here. Now C# statements can execute in either checked or unchecked context. In a checked context, arithmetic overflow will be raised. Arithmetic overflow will be raising an exception, which is called as overflow exception. In an unchecked context, the arithmetic overflow is ignored and the result is truncated. When I say it is ignored and the result is truncated, this overflow will be ignored and the result will have only 0001, which will be a wrong value. That is what it says. In C# statements, we can execute checked or unchecked context. If you have checked context, the arithmetic overflow raises an exception. It informs the user that there is an error. Whereas if you are using it in the unchecked context, suppose say for example, you don't want the exception to be raised or you want to ignore the overflow, then you can use the unchecked context and the result will be automatically truncated. Now, if you want to have checked context, you should use the keyword checked, which is also known as checked operator. And wherever you use checked keyword, it specifies the checked context. Wherever you use unchecked keyword, it specifies the unchecked context. If neither checked nor unchecked is specified, the default context depends on external factors such as compiler options. So, suppose say for example in your program you have not specified a part of the program or the arithmetic calculation with checked or unchecked context. In those cases, whatever compiler options you have given, based on that it will consider it as checked or unchecked. So if checked or unchecked keyword is not specified in the arithmetic calculations of your program, the default context will be based on the compiler option. Now the following operations are generally affected by the overflow checking. The expressions using the predefined operators such as plus plus, minus minus, unary minus, plus, binary plus, binary minus, multiplication and division. These are the arithmetic operations that will be affected. These are the arithmetic operations that will be checking whether overflow occurs or not, or if you are going to use some numeric conversions, something like typecasting, etc., by the time also overflow will be checked. So there are two different cases where the overflow checking happens. One in the case of arithmetic operations, the other one in the case of numeric conversions. Most of the time when you do the arithmetic operations like plus plus, binary plus, star, these are the three operators that gives the result which is greater than the input values. In those cases you will get the arithmetic overflow. So let us see a demo program to understand how arithmetic overflow works in C# program. So this is my program. Okay, I think it is visible, or do you want me to? Yeah, so it's now clear, I think. This is a demo program. Sorry, not this program, I'm really very sorry. Yeah. Let us discuss the demo program in the next video.